Hi guys, Thanksgiving is fast approaching. It's only 1 week away. And what is Thanksgiving without pumpkin pie? I'm gonna show you guys how to make a low-carb, crustless pumpkin pie that you and all your guests can enjoy this Thanksgiving. The ingredients you'll need to make a low-carb, gluten-free pumpkin pie include pumpkin pie spice, cooking spray, canned pumpkin, almond milk, 3 eggs, coconut flour, almond flour, stevia extract, ground cinnamon, and vanilla extract. The ingredients you'll need to make the walnut topping include coconut oil, walnuts, ground cinnamon, and kosher salt. I love food, so naturally I love Thanksgiving, and I really love pumpkin pie, but those store-bought ones, and even most of the recipes that you make at home are crazy sugar loaded and have a bunch of crap in them, and the crusts are terrible. So my pumpkin pie is crustless. You won't even miss it. It's kind of more like a pumpkin custard because you do use so many eggs in it, but it makes it nice and thick and delicious, and you guys are just going to love it. We're gonna start out by getting all of our wet ingredients into a big bowl. First, we have 3 whole eggs. I cannot express to you enough how much I love this recipe. I've been making it every year for Thanksgiving since we started eating low carb, and every year there has been 0 left over. Even when people bring different cakes and pies from like the store, or they make their own traditional cakes, my pumpkin pie recipe is always the first to clear out, not to brag. So we have our 3 eggs in there. We're gonna add about a teaspoon of vanilla extract, just eyeball it. We also need a cup of milk. I'm going to use unsweetened vanilla almond milk because it's what I have on hand, but you can use anything you'd like. If you're keto, heavy cream is amazing in this recipe, as is coconut cream, coconut milk, whole milk, whatever floats your boat. And then we're also going to add the star of the show, which is pumpkin puree. This is just a can of plain old organic pumpkin puree from Trader Joe's. And yes, pumpkin has some carbs, but it's loaded with fiber, and if you just have it a couple times a year, it's not gonna kill you. So obviously Thanksgiving has to do with the Pilgrims and the Indians. So I was thinking the other day about Thanksgiving and what kind of music I like to listen to on Thanksgiving, because we all have Christmas music, but we don't really have Thanksgiving music. And it got me thinking about what the Pilgrims might have listened to. And I bet you that they listened to Plymouth Rock. Once we have all of our wet ingredients together, we are just going to give it a quick blend with our hand mixer. You can use your KitchenAid stand mixer if you have one, or you can just use a regular old whisk for this, whatever is easiest for you. Just want to make sure all those yolks are broken up. Once that's all mixed, it's time for our dry ingredients. And it's pretty much classically what you'd see in a pumpkin pie as far as seasoning goes. You do want to put pumpkin spice, but in addition to that, I like to add a little bit of extra cinnamon just because I love cinnamon. But if you don't like cinnamon that much, you can leave this part out. I put a full teaspoon of cinnamon, and then a full tablespoon of pumpkin pie spice. And then we have our 2 tablespoons of almond flour, 1 tablespoon of coconut flour, and a teaspoon of stevia extract to sweeten it up. You could also use liquid stevia here. If you have the stevia extract, it'll still be a teaspoon. You can add 2 teaspoons if you like your pies super, super sweet, but I like them a little bit more on the savory side. You can also use like powdered stevia, like Truvia, but then you need a lot more to get the same effect. So kind of to your taste with the sweetener, and put all that in, and then we're just going to mix that again with our hand mixer. You want to mix that pretty well, get all the clumps out. Coconut flour tends to lump up on you a bit. Alrighty guys, so that is our batter for our pie. And then you can bake this in either a spring form, or you can use an actual pie plate. It doesn't matter, it comes out great either way. You just want to make sure with whatever you're using that you spray it really well with some spray, cooking spray. I use spray coconut oil, but whatever you have around works, or you can butter your pie pan. This step is completely optional, but completely delicious, and to me, it kind of makes the pie. I take 2 tablespoons of coconut oil and pop it in the microwave for about a minute just to get it liquidy. Then I take a cup of walnuts and put about a teaspoon of cinnamon and a little bit of salt and a teeny bit of stevia. Take our melted coconut oil and pour that all over the walnuts. Mix it up really, really well. And then this becomes kind of like the topping, like the crumble topping on top of the pie. Like I said, this is completely optional, but I think it adds that crunch that you are going to be missing from the crust. If you don't want to add a topping to your pie, you could just top it with some whipped cream that's sweetened with stevia or unsweetened, or some full-fat Greek yogurt would be really good on top. So once that's all mixed, I'm gonna set it aside. And we have our pre-sprayed springform pan, which I'm going to pop all of our filling into. The pilgrims are probably on the beach a lot when they first landed, and they probably got some suntans or puri-tans. And then you sprinkle your walnuts sparingly on top. You want to make sure you spread these out really well so there's a little bit on each piece, because they do kind of clump together a bit. So I got my walnuts all spread out here. I have my oven preheated at 350 degrees. I'm going to pop this guy into the oven for a full hour, and I will see you when it's done. So our pie just came out of the oven. It looks beautiful. I'm gonna give it a second to cool down, but guys, this looks amazing. Top off our springform here, and you can see how much, like how big it actually is. And I say that this makes about 10 slices. There you have it, guys. It is steaming crazy hot. What I like to do is stick this in the fridge and let it chill out for a couple hours, and then it gets even harder and it becomes more like a custard. And I like it cold, but if you like it hot, serve it this way. And I know that a mathematician would love this because their favorite dessert is always pie. So if you guys make this crustless pumpkin pie for Thanksgiving, make sure you shoot me a picture on Instagram, Facebook, or Twitter. I would love to see your pumpkin creations. That's all for today, guys. I will see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.
And 1 and 2 and 2 and 1. Oh, shucks.
Could not be a simpler way to make a sandwich. We're gonna start by putting a big pot of water on the stove and bring it to a boil. And then you're gonna take your collard green, which is very, very large. And I've started putting my recipes into MyFitnessPal so I can tell you just how many carbs are in them, because a lot of you are like, hey, that looks like it has a lot of carbs. How many does that really have? When you can actually just punch them into the internet yourselves. That's a crazy idea. Or I can do it for you. And so I started doing it for you to make your lives that much easier. And in one slice of this beautiful pumpkin thing, including the walnuts, there's 136 calories, 10.9 grams of fat, 6.3 grams of carbs, 3 of those are fiber, so 3.3 net carbs, and 4 grams of protein. And I really hope you guys enjoyed this recipe. Let me know if you're really interested in the breakdown of the recipes like I had for you today. I'll also start putting those on my blog posts. Yeah, so if you like that idea, give this video a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments below. I am just here to make you guys happy. It's so good. You would not even know this is low carb. I love recipes like this to bring to parties or to serve to guests who don't also eat low carb, because you're not really saying like forcing low carb on people or something healthier on people. It's just a great alternative and everyone tends to like it.